All right, guys, happy Thursday. It is June 11th, which is so crazy. We're halfway through the year. Like, that's insane. The 6 months have already gone by, and we have 6 months left of the year, which is really, really exciting. It's been a super awesome year, super like for our business. In other ways with the world, I know a lot of stuff's going on, but as far as like with everyone promoting and everyone working on promotions and sales increasing because people are buying from home, it's a really good spot to be in an e-commerce type business. So I'm really happy that you're all here. If you're brand new or if you've started recently, just say hi in the chat, say where you're from. I'd love to like know where the team's coming from and where everyone's signing in from. I know I'm in New Jersey myself. My name's Courtney. I've been in this business for 3 years. And tonight we're going to have three different people speaking who are on our team. And I really think every Thursday night at the same exact time, we're going to have this type of powwow where you're going to hear different stories from different people on the team so we can have that belongingness, like that community. And I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I was just talking to Brett about this before I got started. I'm going to talk for like 10 minutes and then I'm going to go right into the next person. But what I want to hit on some things first, and then I'm going to give you guys some tips. So if you want to like take some notes, and give you guys some announcements too, because there's some other stuff going on. So our team meeting every Thursday, I'm going to give you guys announcements, and then we're going to have three different people share their stories. Okay, so that's like, I think that's a really good idea to have us like just understand who we're working with, like who's on our team. A lot of us don't know each other's stories, and I think that's what keeps me wanting to do more and always wanting to help someone else, because I get to see these stories change and people cross these items off their dream board. And what I was saying to Brett was, in the last 3 years, I have changed like so much as a person, and I feel like for the better. And then I also have just gained the best friends ever. Like, I've gained such great friends when I always had horrible friends. Like, being honest, I've always had horrible friends growing up. Like, I just never had the really good friends. And in the last 3 years, I found like my lifelong friends, and it was because of this business. And it's crazy to me that it happened like that, right? Like, you start a business to make an income from your phone, right? You want to make that extra money for paying off debt, for staying at home full time, whatever it is, a part-time income just to pay off some bills or buy a like install a pool, buy an RV. Like, all of these things we start for is financial, and then in the process we become a better person. Like, we become a better person and we meet the most amazing people. And I really wanted to have this standing group meeting so we could learn more about each other, because in the last 3 years, as I'm working this business every day, the thing that keeps me going the most is knowing that I have other people to help, and I have really good friends in this business, and like they're always going to uplift me and they're always going to make me feel better. So I don't know if that's how you guys feel yet. Some of you are brand new this week, so you're going to feel that way, I promise you. And when you have days where you're doing your task list and someone's mean to you, or someone says no, or something just affects you and you feel a little discouraged, the thing that has always kept me going is knowing that I can go right over to Sabrina, right over to Tish, right over to Sarah, like right over to these people that I've met because of this business and became really good friends with because of this business. And I know they're going to spark positivity on me, and I'm going to feel so much better. And I'm going to be like, heck yeah, I don't need that person. You're right. And like, that's what I want you guys to feel. I don't want you to feel like you're stranded on your own little island and you don't have a family here, because we are all seriously going to be your family. You should feel like, instead of being on that island by yourself, that you're going to own that island one day and you're going to bring all your friends with you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I want you to feel every single day with this business. I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to feel like you have the support no matter what. That comes down to, if you can get on the Zoom meetings, get on as many as you possibly can, because I swear that's what really helps me. If you can't, because I worked full time when I started this business, and I also was getting my master's degree. So I had to fit this business in on bathroom breaks, at lunchtime, before work, before I went to bed. And sometimes I wouldn't be able to make the Zoom meetings, or I wouldn't be able to make trainings. What I would do, and what I would recommend for you in that case, if you can't, to watch Jade's YouTube. So go to Jade Hooper on YouTube and watch the recordings, and then stay connected in your chats, right? The chats are there, and everyone's in a team chat. That team chat is your little family, right? It's a mini family on our whole team, and you can use that chat to communicate every day. You should be talking to that person who enrolled you every day, like every day. Just find that friendship, build that bond, and it really helps you feel like you're not by yourself. And it really helps you feel like you can conquer anything, and you can sign every customer, and you can sign every distributor. I swear, it's like a whole mindset thing, and it starts with you guys staying as connected as possible with the team. So that's why we started these. So you can feel like we're all here together, and we're all doing this together, and we're all going to pump each other up. So when I'm like writing in the chats, or Sabrina's writing in the chats, or Cyndi writes in her chat, or like people are writing in the chats, respond. Like, just write back really quick, like something. Like, even if you have something that's working really well for you, just go into the chat and be like, hey guys, this, or if you've read an article that was awesome, or if you heard a podcast, or you watched a training, just share it, right? Like, that's the sense of community. Right there in that chat box. You can find an accountability buddy, like someone that's not even on your team, just to like, hey, we're both pushing for Ruby, we're both pushing for Emerald, we're both pushing for Diamond, to check in with each other and send each other voice messages to pump each other up. That's my number one tip for you guys, is to find that like family, find that community. And I swear it's going to be like the best support system you've ever had. I don't know any other business, any other company that you'll work for that encourages that, right? Like, they just want you to come to work, clock in, clock out, make some money for the company, not you, and then leave. It's like, this is so different. And just start having that mindset when you start this business. Like, you're an entrepreneur, but you're never going to be by yourself. Like, you're going to have these people encouraging you and lifting you up all the time. So as far as like some notes for like daily tasks, a lot of people have been asking, like, what can I do? Some people say like they work full time, or they're doing this and they're super busy. And then some people have a lot of time, right? And honestly, you may see, if you're newer, you may see like in the last year, I've worked this business full time. So you may think like, oh, Courtney has all day to work this business, that's why she's able to be successful. I actually built this business to triple while working full time and getting my master's degree. So you can build this business no matter what your schedule is. And I want you guys to see the simple things that you can just do every day and how to fit it in. So on a list of like 6 things I would say is highly recommended. Number 1 is definitely personal development. So number 1 is personal development. And that's finding a podcast to listen to every morning, journaling if you want to, not like Dear Diary, like more of what your goals are, what you're working through, how you're feeling, what you want to accomplish, like that kind of journaling. You can also do YouTubes. Like, you can find anyone on YouTube, like an inspirational speaker, and they just like speak life into you. You can read a book, you can listen to an audiobook, tons of different recommendations. On our team page, if you type in personal development, you'll get tons of ideas. There's a whole thread. So that's number 1. Number 2 is doing host to post and messaging. So messaging and getting host to post up, think about this. If you work full time, or if you're super busy in the morning, wake up, do your personal development while you're making your breakfast, while you're making your coffee, put that up on your story, and then go send out some messages to get host to post up, and then work on them on your lunch break, and then work on them at nighttime. Like, honestly, I told Brett and I were just like literally talking about what I wanted to talk about. And I said, I sit here, like, people can see me like, oh, Courtney does this all day, that's why she's able to do it, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't really work the business all day. I don't like get up and sit behind the computer at 8 a.m. First of all, I sleep in, but I don't sit at the computer at 8 a.m. and then work the business until midnight. I literally, if I wanted to, I could work this business under an hour. I truly believe that. So if you guys just sprinkle things in like this throughout your day and find that spot for you, and then set that level. So if sending 30 messages in the morning gets you 10 hosts to post, that's all you got to do. You just got to send 30, right? So the goal is to get at least 10 up a day. That's what Cami, that's what Mark, that's what everyone in corporate is telling us to be successful with host to post. That is where I would start, is just how many messages do you need to send out really quick with your word board, quick button sending, to get those 10 up, and then go answer them and do your follow-ups at night. Number 3 would be posting. So when you're getting hosts to post up and you're messaging and talking to people, they're going to go right to your page and see what you're doing. If you're sharing memes, if you're not talking about the business, they're going to be like, she's scamming me. Honestly, they're going to be like, this is a scam. So just make sure every day you're doing simple things like talking about working from your phone, and then using the products. If you have the products, use them. We actually have an auto ship contest going on the team page right at the top. So if you run an auto ship this month of 80 BV or more, you can enter to win that. So by the 25th, if you run your auto ship, make sure you go comment on that post. And then that includes posting on your stories. Number 4 would just be doing your follow-ups, which, I mean, when you're doing host to post, all this stuff kind of just goes together really simply. And then number 5, if you have, well, number 5 and 6, number 5, if you have a team, if you're becoming a leader, if you have even just one distributor under you, checking in with them, and not like, hey, how is it going kind of thing, but more of, what can I do to help you? Okay, like, you need help with customers, here's what I'm doing to sign customers. Like, duplication, that's the whole point. Like, if you can sign a customer from a host to post, you can train someone to do it too, right? That's how it just keeps going. And then following up with asking if they want to be a distributor to the person that posts for you. Like, those simple things. But team check-ins are so important, because you're not on that island, you're not by yourself, right? You're not by yourself. And even if you're a brand new distributor right now, check in with the person who enrolled you or your team chat and just say, hey, like, send screenshots, we're always here to help. And then the last part of my like task list, like I said, everyone has different numbers. I can say I send 100 messages or something like that, and someone else who has a super busy lifestyle can't send 100 messages, physically can't, right? So I'm not going to tell you guys exact numbers to do these things, but I'm going to tell you what is the idea of like what you do every day to be able to enroll customers and distributors. That's how we get paid: customer enrolling and distributor enrolling, and then training people to do the same thing. Number 6 was adding friends. And if you're doing host to post on Facebook, you're adding friends. So like, it just keeps going. If you are newer and you really need to expand your friends list, like you have only like say 400 friends, 500 friends, and you're trying to expand it really quickly and you don't want to wait for host to post to get there, make sure you're adding from groups that you're in, like dog mom groups, crocheting groups, friends of friends. And do not, which I had to say this because it happened a couple of times this week that I haven't told people, don't add from the area that says people you may know. Because if you're adding friends from the area that says people you may know, it's going to be people from Wake Price Sleigh, from Passport to Diamond, from other businesses. Like that area is going to be where Facebook pairs people in groups that you're a part of, and it's usually It Works reps. So don't be adding from there. Auto shipment is if you have a personal product order. So if you want to get some coffee and you want to get some wraps for yourself to get your own results, or you want to get a cleanse, you can put that on a personal product auto shipment every month, and you can edit it every month. You're allowed to switch it just so you can use those products to either A, resell them for samples if you want to keep samples on hand to sell, or B, to use like while you're posting on your stories and on your page so people can see your results with the products. So if you run an auto ship for yourself, there's a contest on the team page for that. And you can ask your chat too. But yeah, that's honestly what I wanted to just hit on, was like the simple task list, and that I want you guys to like really like realize that we're all here for each other and we're all going to boost each other up no matter what. So if you ever feel discouraged, or if you ever feel like down, just message me first of all, because Jamie knows I just send like screenshots of books and stuff. I'm like, hey, pump you up. No, but seriously, whenever you feel that way, like we've all been there, and I've been there a million times, and I've gone through a lot of things in this business in 3 years. And the thing that really keeps me going all the time is knowing that this isn't all about me, it's about you guys. And also I have like the best friends that I can just go to, and I hope that's all going to be all of you too, go to and just be like, hey, and then they just instantly make you feel better, and you just feel like this is it, this is great, this is an amazing company, it's an amazing compensation plan, they're amazing products, and you're in the right spot. I just feel so good about this year with us. And then power hours, I sent the calendars out to everyone, and some people are having issues, but if you had an issue with the Google Calendar app, just delete the app and then reinstall it. That helps some people. And then just message me if there's still issues, we can try to figure it out. But all the power hours are on there that you can get on, and I'm trying to put all the recordings in there as well. So like you can go back to whatever you miss and put the recording. You are having trouble. I don't know who iPhone is. Yeah, Jamie, you needed that today. Me too. I opened up this book. This book's awesome. Hi God, it's me again. Highly recommend it. It really helps all the time. I know. There you go. And one more thing. I got one more thing too. I didn't read it yet. It was like really deep, I thought, when I started reading it. I was like, oh, this is too dark for me right now. Too deep. Okay. So don't be on your own island. Own your own island. And last thing before we go into Angeline first, if that's okay. I didn't even give you guys an order, but I think Angeline, you should go first. Last thing, I am starting a boom contest, and I talked more than 10 minutes. Damn it. A boom contest is going to be starting tonight, and it's really fun. I think it's really fun. It's gonna be really exciting. So every 1,000 BV that we get, if you don't know what BV is, ask your chat later and we'll talk about it. But every 1,000 BV that you get, that we enroll as a team, I'm gonna pick a winner, and we're gonna be able to pick from this Amazon list. I made like this whole Amazon like storefront, and there's tons of prizes. I think like 25 prizes, maybe more on there. And we're gonna go count up to 25,000 together, and every 1,000, I'm gonna let a winner pick a prize from the Amazon storefront. So like you get to pick what you win, you know what I mean? I think that'd be fun. I did not do the host to post contest this week. I'm sorry. I'll do it soon. Actually, I'm probably gonna just pick 2 winners on Sunday, honestly, because it's like been so crazy. My birthday's tomorrow, but so I'm gonna pick 2 winners on Sunday if that's okay with you guys. So when you're getting your host to post up, make sure you're adding the screenshots to our page, and then you can enter. I'm gonna pick 2 winners to win $20. So that'd be fun. All right, I'm going to stop talking. And Angeline, we're going to talk to you first. And I kind of talked to you guys earlier about this, but I just briefly want you to talk about why, like, you started this business and a little more about you, because you're newer too, and a lot of people don't know who you are. And you joined with Katie, and talking about why you joined with Katie. I would love to know that. And then going into some tips and anything that is on your heart.
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Angeline. I'm so excited to be a part of this team. I'm still pretty new. I just had my 1 month anniversary, so it's been a crazy month, but it's been so much fun. So just to give you a little background into who I am a theater teacher, and I live in San Antonio, Texas. And so all of my degrees are in theater. That's what I have done my entire life. This was not part of the game plan, to be honest. I usually work crazy hours because, like, in addition to teaching full-time with all that goes into that with lesson planning and grading, I have hours of rehearsal outside of that, and a lot of evenings and weekends for competitions and shows. And before everything shut down with quarantine, I was doing a show myself that I was acting in addition. So I live a very busy life, and so it was amazing though, because all of a sudden, like, literally overnight, our whole entire world changed completely. And it was actually my 30th birthday, March 19th, that our city locked down, everything was closed, and I got the word that we wouldn't be going back to teaching this year at school, just online. And so being like a very busy person and always, having a million things going on, I was like, what do I do now? And my husband's a band director too. So we both teach in the arts, and I was starting to hear that other states were looking at closing down some of their big arts programs and schools and all. So that was a little like disconcerting, not knowing, if both of us would have like job security in the future. And also just with, like, my husband and I have 4.5 degrees between the two of us, so we're still trying to pay off school debt and all that. So when I started to have the time, I started thinking like, wow, it'd be kind of nice to, find a way to make some money on the side and be able to get out of debt and, have something to fall back on in case, we would lose one of our jobs or both of our jobs, or just have flexibility in the future with starting a family and all. So, but I was just scrolling Facebook one day, and one of my friends, Noni, had done a host to post for Katie. And it was like, my friend Katie's looking for 3 people to join her team who are looking for a little side income. And so I had no idea like anything about it. I just saw the influencer application, and I didn't do anything at that moment, to be honest. Like, I just was like, interesting. But it got stuck in the back of my mind, you know how that is. And I kept thinking about it for the next couple days. And so finally I was like, well, I might as well just like look into it. And so I filled out the application and talked to Katie, and she can tell you, I like had so many questions, and she really kind of talked me through everything. And, I think truthfully, like, one of our biggest battles we face is that network marketers have like kind of a bad stigma because some people, you know, aren't very honest, or you hear about the companies people join where they spend like way more money than they ever make. And so I was a little wary, but Katie was awesome. She sent me a bunch of like voice messages, like, here's the deal, girl, you know, and just walked me through all my questions. And so I was like, you know what? It's 99 bucks. Like, what the heck? I can join and maybe make some income from this, or, you know, worst case scenario, like I'm out 99 bucks, you know? So I joined on May the 6th. And I put together my first big, you know, life post. And so from that post, I got my first 3 customers that were friends, you know, that were willing to be product testers for me. So that was awesome. I was like, oh, wow, this is, you know, easy. But then I hit like a little rut, you know, like we've all been there, I'm sure. And so I was like, okay, I should probably try this host to post thing. But I was like, this is not my personality at all, to be honest with y'all. Like, I'm super type B, laid back. I am not like what I call a woo girl. Like, I'm so excited, you know, and I'm like outgoing to a certain extent. Like, it's out of my comfort zone to message people randomly. And so I was like, Katie, like, I think I'm going to start by just posting like on my feed, we're doing a drawing, and like see, you know, who comments, and then talk to those people to start, just ease my way in. So I did that, but I did a really crappy like first post, and I don't think I had hardly any comments on it at all. So I was like, oh gosh. So I started to like message people, and my first day like messaging people, I got some horrible, like nasty replies. And I was like, oh no, like what have I done? You know, like this is awful. Which, side tangent, I don't understand why, one, people are nasty online, right? But 2, like you're offering people the chance to like win some money and help you out at the same time, you know, just by posting a post. Like, it's not a big deal. But I was like so already like over analyzing everything and out of my comfort zone that I was like, whoa, what did I do? You know, and I, to be honest, like I took a step back, and for that next 8 days, it was like a full week, I still did some like videos, you know, Zooms and stuff like that. I posted a little bit, but I didn't really do much at all to advance my business, and I didn't make a single sale. But what I realized was that, you know, why would I let these negative people influence me and not enable me to help others through this business and help my own family? And, you know, that's just not a good way to think. And what kind of empowered me was realizing like, this is my business and I got to run it like how I want to. And so I decided to just like think about my core values for my business, like that I'm always going to be upfront and honest with people and ethical, not trying to like trick people into, you know, anything. And that I would always stay true to myself, and that I would give my business to the Lord. And because that at first I was just like in it for me, you know, kind of, but I was like, no, this isn't about me. This is about helping people, and like I'll give my business to God. And so then I just kind of went like balls to the wall, like I'm just going to try everything and hopefully something works. So that's what I did. So I started to get smarter about how I posted and what I posted and how I like talked to people. And so one thing that you guys have probably, you know, this is nothing new to you, but I tried to make a choice to always do like personal posts with products. So if I'm like, you know, instead of just a picture of a product, it's like me with a coffee cup, you know, and being like, try keto coffee because X, Y, and Z. And at first I didn't have any products. So it would literally be like me with an empty coffee cup talking about skinny coffee or whatever. And I started really like with skinny coffee and keto coffee because I'm a huge coffee person, and a lot of people know that about me that are my friends and family. So it was like an easy thing for me to be able to speak to. So I would definitely recommend like whatever your, you know, interest are or passion is, or something that's really helped you, like start hardcore with that. And so then I also started doing a lot of stories, which I had like never done before. So it was like a little bit of a learning curve for me, but how I do my stories now is I call it like the personal sandwich, you know, because when you go on Facebook or Instagram, the first little picture you see of someone's story is like whether they're going to click on it is based on what they see in that little picture. So I knew that I would have better results if it was like a personal picture, you know, whether it's like a throwback picture or something that I'm doing that day. Like today, mine was, every day this week have woken up with like only one sock on, and I'm not sure how that happens. Super random. So I just like posted a picture like, does anyone else have this problem where they wake up with one sock, you know? And it's just dumb, but it was something personal. And then I sandwich it with a product post, and now it's usually me making my morning coffee, skinny coffee or keto coffee, and then another personal post, and then another product post, and so on and so forth. So that way, you know, people stay engaged on your feed, and it's not like they always avoid it because it's only product posts or whatever. So that has helped me a lot. And then I realized, you know, people are on social media because it's like an escape, it's fun, and they want to be lazy, right? It's like they're not working usually on social media like we are. So I realized that if I would put like, you know, scroll up and DM, you know, blah, blah, blah for more information, like I wasn't getting any hits. But when I would do something like a poll on mine where it was like, you know, find out more, or hook me up, girl, it was like I had so many more hits because, you know, that's more fun. Just click a button, and it's like the easy, lazy way. It takes 2 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds, right? Not even 2 seconds. So, so that started helping me a bunch too. And then I did my first lives, which I was a little bit intimidated to start doing. But my first one, it was right after I'd gotten keto coffee. And so I just like made my coffee and talked about it, and, you know, skinny coffee. And I had like 360 views in the first like day, which really exceeded my expectations. And, you know, so more and more people were seeing what I was doing and seeing me post about coffee and all of that. So I started getting more and more sales. So now this is like my third week, which is the last week of the month, you know, and everything is crazy at that time, right? So so I was just like trying a bunch of new stuff. I was always like watching videos and webinars and looking up like marketing techniques, because this is so new to me, like this whole world. You know, I'm a theater teacher, like I don't I don't do this. So so I just like tried to, you know, think like smarter about how to do things. So another thing that I did, and I'll actually drop this in the chat when I'm done talking, but I found this picture, and it's like all of these cups of coffee, and it's like in this little kind of chart, and it has like from like the blackest coffee to like the creamiest, and letters at the top, numbers on the side. And so one of my host posts was like, you know, put, you know, how you like your coffee. And I had so many stinking posts on that. And so then, and on that, I also put like, and I'll message you for more information on your entry. So I would message people. And another thing on Host to Post that I would recommend is comment, like individual comments to people on your public page, and have them, you know, be engaging and fun, and switch it up instead of just like, I'm messaging you, you know, be personal, because they're going to buy from you because you've developed a relationship with them, right? And because they like you. And so it was a challenge for that one in particular, like trying to like think of something unique to say for everyone. But then I would message them, and it wasn't just like, because I had put like, and I'll message you more details, it wasn't like a surprise that I was personally messaging them as well. And I always start my personal messages like with something that's about them, you know, like, oh my goodness, it's been so long, how are you doing? I like this brought you to mind the other day, or whatever, you know, something just like personal, right? And then be like, oh, and thanks for posting on my poll, like, you want to be in this drawing, and then they'll post for me most of the time, because it's not just like, oh, I'm using you to like get further in my business, because people don't like to be used, right? They don't like to feel that way. And so I always try to, you know, it's all about relationships, like, and about how you can just connect with others and help them through that. So, so that's worked really well for me. I used another bacon one today, and already in the past couple hours, I've had like 70 something comments on it. So people love talking about how they like their food or their drinks. And so you just kind of find what works for you, right? As you guys probably know. So yeah, so that's been kind of where I started. By that end of the third week, I had 11 sales and my first distributor joined, which was awesome. And so it's been crazy, just a learning curve, you know, of just like going for it. Like once I hit that third week mark and decided like, you know what, I'm just gonna like do the dang thing. You know, it was amazing how everything changed. And although this business might definitely pull you out of your comfort zone, like if you're anything like me, it totally does every single day. Just remember to like be yourself, give it like a shot, you know, because no one's gonna, it's your business. So you're the only one who can do it. And we will definitely be cheering you on and helping from the sides. But like at the end of the day, whatever you do is like what you're going to get out of it. And then just keep learning and growing. My latest thing that I've been spending a lot of time on is learning how to like do ads and stuff like that. And there's like so much to that world. But I have like just gone down the rabbit hole and I'm trying to just, you know, make myself the best that I can be in this business and think outside the box, be creative, learn more, and then, you know, just stay true to myself too. And just remember that the reason that it works is not selling, you know, through Walmart or Amazon, is because it's all about connecting with other people and relationships. And that's like amazing how like a multi-billion-dollar company has made it like this big just through people like you and I, you know, with very different backgrounds, connecting with other people and helping them out. So if you keep it focused on like helping other people and all, you'll be great. You'll do great. So that's about it.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, can you guys like see that like she's only been in this business for less than a month? That's insane. Doesn't she talk like she's been doing this for like a year? It's insane. Okay, so first of all, I've been calling you Angeline. It's Angeline.
Yeah, that's okay though. I know it looks like Angeline.
Okay, that's what I got the first. And then as you're talking and you're saying there were super key things that you said. You said when you decided to give this a shot and do the things, you signed all the customers and a distributor. Like your mindset, it was just a one little switch and then you were like, all right, I'm in it, and you profited from it. That's crazy. And now as you're learning these tips and you're thinking like an entrepreneur and thinking outside of the box and trying your own flow, your own thing, and creating these relationships, now you get to help your new distributor do the same thing, right? Like you're paving this way for so many more people. And it just started with you deciding to make that decision. Like that's crazy. It's all about your mindset. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think everyone got a lot of really good tips and notes. And I hope you guys heard when she was saying she shows herself with the coffee. She talks about her own like results with the products, her own trying the products, and she also creates those relationships with the person she's talking to, not just sends scripts and robotic, right? So like making that relationship with them. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep, Danielle said mindset's everything. Okay, awesome. All right, so Yaya, you're up. We're gonna talk about a little bit about your story, why you started the business, and then go into like some of your tips, which I know you shared some last night, but a lot of people weren't on that, so it'd be cool to like hit on them again.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Yaya. It says Jahida on the screen, but I never go by Jahida because it's just too much for some people and it's a mouthful. So I mostly go by Yaya. But okay, so I am married and I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. Keanu, Ariana, and Adeline, stemming from the ages of 10 to 2, which is so crazy to me because I just feel like I just had them all just now. But to start from like where I started before it works. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for like on and off for the 10 years since I've had Keanu. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've always kind of like gone from job to job. I was not good in school. I hated school, not because it wasn't like I wasn't smart enough for school. I was just one of those people where like school just never, literally never interested me. I was very bored by it. So school was just not for me. Um, and I just didn't, I lacked all the courage to do anything, you know, with my vocals because I do sing, but I lacked that courage. So I never went for anything. Um, so I've been a stay-at-home mom, and my husband has always worked. And for me, I always just felt like, even though I was being a stay-at-home mom, oh, is my dog really gonna start barking right now? All right, let me let her out. Sorry. All right, Mia, go. Sorry. um, Even though like I'm a stay-at-home mom and that's a lot of work, I always just felt like I still wasn't doing enough. Like I just wasn't doing enough for my kids, like to show them outside of like being home. And like innocently, kids say things and like they don't know it's like a dagger to your heart. So like when my kids would just be like, well, mom just hangs out all day and she watches TV with us, and like because kids just don't really understand or grasp the concept of being a stay at home. But it would always make me feel like I wasn't showing my kids enough. Like I wasn't doing enough to show them the best that they can ever be. So my husband climbing. He was in the corporate world as a chemist. That's what he did. And up until last July, that's what he was doing until he decided to quit his job. Um, Now we built our life on my husband's career. So the home that we bought, the cars that we drive, everything was built on my husband's uh, back, I guess you could say. And he was making really great money, but he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy at all. But he didn't discuss quitting his job with me. I did not know he was going to quit his job. He just up and quit. And I was very angry. And I actually, I stayed at my brother's house for a couple days. And then it made me just think like, for a moment, like I had like this realization that my life had like shifted, our life has shifted as a family, and I really had no say or control in it. Like it was, I allowed it to be in my husband's hands. And I got so comfortable in that. I didn't realize that I was comfortable. I felt, I guess in my mind, I felt secure because he's my husband and I was a stay at home mom and he was, working. But I realized I hadn't done anything to like have something for us to fall back on. Like nothing. I kind of like, it was just like, damn girl, your husband just quit his job. What you about to do? Like, what are you going to do? And that's when I saw Jenna's post. That's how I got through to, now I went to high school with Jenna, and I just was like, I think I talked to her like twice, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sign up. And that's not really me. I've never really been a confident or courageous person. That stems from my childhood. That's for another Zoom. Um, but like I've never had confidence in myself. I've never thought that I could be more than what I was. Like just a stay-at-home mom, take care of my kids, cook dinner, do laundry, like be a wife. Like that's what I thought my life was. Like that's what I thought I was good enough to have in my life. But I saw Jenna's post and I was just like, hey, what is this about? And she told me, and I was like, all right, well, next Friday, my husband's unemployment check is gonna hit and I'm gonna sign up. And she was like, okay. And she sent me the link, and it so happened to be that next Friday it was half off. So it was $59 to join. So I was like, thank you, God. Like meant to be. And I joined October of last year of 2019. And when I first joined, I was super excited and nervous, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to do this. Like, I'm gonna like kill this thing. Like, I'm gonna make so much money. No. Okay. It was not like that. And I'm not gonna BS, like, I got my first 4 customers, 2 of which were help from the team. I didn't really get them on my own. They were help from the team, and I was so grateful. And then I got the other 2 customers, but then I like stopped because I was not like, I didn't feel it. I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't believing in myself. Like, I just wasn't invested. I wasn't invested. I had invested $59, but I wasn't really invested. And so January hit, and Courtney messaged me after the conference, and they were like, you know, $15,000 bonus if you promote, blah blah blah. Like, girl, are you gonna get in this? Are you gonna do this? Like, what are you gonna do? And I told my husband, I was like, all right, like, I gotta actually put some work in here. This is not as simple as just, you know, get on your live and like be cute and say, hey, I got coffee. It's gonna make you skinny. Buy my coffee. Like, no, girl, you're gonna have to put some work in. So I made a decision to put some work in. And that was end of January. By end of February, I was Ruby. I had hit Ruby for my first time. And I'm a super emotional person, so I might cry on the Zoom, so excuse me. But that was the first time, sorry. That was the first time that like I ever saw something in myself that was like more than what I had ever seen before. And I mean, it took 34 years for me to see that I have greatness inside me. That if I push myself, I can be more than even what I limited myself to be. And so, sorry guys, I'm like an extremely emotional person. So, I hit Ruby in February, and I was running for Diamond. Like, I was like, I need to be Diamond. Like, I want to be Diamond. But March came, and I got comfortable in being Ruby, and I stopped pushing. And I didn't really like go as hard as I did in February to hit Ruby. So the team rallied together like they had been this whole time, because I can't speak enough about the women on this team. Like, there are people that I've had in my life all my life that have never encouraged me as much as the women on this team encourage me. Like, to have never met some of you and to have you tell me that I'm great does so much more than you could ever imagine. And I never had that before. And so like they rallied together end of March, and they were like, girl, you're only like 267 away from Ruby. Stop being lazy and do what you need to do. The next day, I got that 267 BV, and I was Ruby again for April. And then May, Ruby again. So I've been consistently Ruby now for 2 months. I'm tired of Ruby. I'm over it. Okay. I'm over it. I don't care for Ruby no more. Did it 3 times. I don't want to do Ruby no more. So I'm running for Diamond. And guys, it's not that I'm not still like having struggles, because I am, but I just made like a decision within myself that I'm just not going to let those struggles get in my way. Like, I'm just going to keep pushing past them, because the struggles aren't going to stop. It's always going to be one thing or another, whether it's struggling to get my kids to, you know, settle down so that I can have a peace of mind, or it's struggling to get the laundry folded after I wash it and it's not sitting here for like a month before I fold it. Like, it's always something there. So like, just push past it and stop giving myself excuses. And so what I've been doing is pouring into myself, like 1,000,000%. And the way that I'm doing it is not actually pouring into myself, but pouring into everybody else. When I first started this business, it was for financial freedom and to have something that I could call my own, something outside of being a mom and being a wife. Now I work this business so that I can change other people's lives, so that I can make other women feel the way that I have been longing to feel my whole life, so that they understand that they are better than what they're limiting themselves to be, and they deserve more in their life than what they're willing to give themselves. You just have to want it. And so I go on live every morning. And of course, I talk about the business. I make my coffee every morning on my live, but I always reserve like the end of my live for my journaling. So I try to hop on the journaling Zoom every morning, but when I can't, I either message and I ask, like, hey, what was the journaling Zoom about? But then when I go live, I do this with everyone. And even if I don't see anybody on, I put it there because it's a recording and I'm going to leave it on my page and somebody could catch it later. So for me, like, I've gotten so many people messaging me and just telling me like that I'm so encouraging and that they needed what I had to say. And so it's really just shifted my whole thought within the business. So for me, what's become really huge now is pouring into myself, listening to podcasts, getting on the Zooms. And if I can't get on the Zooms, asking Courtney or Tish or anybody, hey, is the Zoom recorded? Where can I find it? Like, let me watch it back. Because that's another thing that I didn't like. If I missed the Zoom, in my mind, it was like, oh, I missed it. But no, you don't have to miss it necessarily. Ask, like, hey, I missed that Zoom. Do you mind like sending it to me so that I can watch it? And find the time to squeeze it in. If you can't live in that moment, do it later. Host a post. My goodness gracious. Hacks are everything, you guys. Like, so it does so many things, like everywhere. It spreads you out everywhere. Everything we're trying to do in this business, grow, promote, like encourage, like everything we're trying to do, Host a Post kind of provides that for you. So like, if you're not doing Host a Post, I just feel like it's almost impossible for you to grow. Like, you're not going to grow as exponentially as you would if you did Host a Post. For me personally, those are big game changers. And then obviously they preach this all the time, consistency. Just, I know that sometimes it can be discouraging when you feel like you're posting all the time and you're doing all the things, but it's not like happening. Literally the other day, I told this to Dana. I did all the work all day. I barely got like anybody answering me. I sent like 3 links out to people, said that they wanted to order, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't being discouraged. It was like, all right, well, it is what it is. I went to bed at like, I think like 1 a.m. from sending messages and doing all that. Woke up the next morning with a new loyal customer. Money was literally made while I slept. Like, so just don't ever think that just because in that very moment you did something and you didn't receive anything in return, it doesn't mean you aren't going to receive something later. Like, it's literally planting seeds. Like, I used to be so discouraged by doing something and not seeing something right away. But instant gratification it's just not going to happen when you're trying to grow your business. So you have to like just keep planting, just keep putting it in there, plan them out. Don't stress about it. Don't do it to like see something happen right away. Do it because you eventually want to reap the benefits from it, because you will. And then refresh. I always say refresh. Like, if you post something and it didn't like work out for you, I said this yesterday, it didn't work, just delete it and repost something similar to it that you feel is going to be more eye-catching. That happened with the giveaway post the other day. I did a giveaway post and it was just the word one that said like, so who wants to give me space? I've had that work really well, but then the other, so I waited like 2 hours. I didn't get any hits on it. So I deleted it. And then I ended up posting the peanut butter and jelly one. And I got like 40 comments on that. And I got all my haps up from that one. So don't like, just refresh you guys. Like look at your page throughout the day and just be like, okay, you know what? This one didn't do good. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to repost. I'm going to, do what I need to do and just readjust. And then lives. I swear by lives. I go live every morning. I think they're great. They show your personality. They show people who you really are. And I just think it's a better way to have people connect with you. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, we cried and we laughed and we're like, whoa, all at the same time. But you also really keep track of your host to post, like hardcore.
Yes, I do. So
I think that's key.
I get lucky enough to have a printer here with my husband working from home, but even when I don't, like, find a blank piece of paper, guys, and just write it down. Like, I have all of these are trackers. I have so many trackers, and I don't throw them out because it's been a week or anything like that. Just yesterday, I went back to 426 and was looking at all those to see, did I miss anyone? Is there anyone that I talked to that the conversation just went dead and I want to pick it back up? Like, I track. It's so important to track. And this is also a game changer with the hacks, because I found myself when I was first doing them that I would get like lost in the sauce, guys, because I'd be like, oh, where the heck did Jane Doe come from? I have no idea. So that's when I started, like, I saw the Zoom with the tracker and I printed that bad boy out, and I've been doing it ever since. And even when I can't get a hold of it, I just flip the old ones over and I write on the back. I have 1,000 notebooks. I have like 18 million notebooks, literally, with like writing all over them. I don't even know, guys. Okay. I just write. Okay. I write shit everywhere. Like, if I can find a piece of paper, I'm going to write on it. And then I just try to keep it in a little folder so that I know where my papers are. But, oh, and then I keep this in front of me always, because I am diamond. So you guys have to like put in front of you what you want, and just say you want it, and then just go and get it. And actually, Sarah mentioned Trent Shelton, and I just recently got on him through my podcast. They're like searching through podcasts. And today I listened to one where he said, like, we think that we lack consistency, but really what we lack is commitment. And there is a difference. So like, if you consistently go to a job that you hate, or you consistently go to school, you do those things because you know that there are consequences when you don't, right? But what if you gave yourself consequences if you didn't commit to your dreams? So it's all honestly about perspective, like how you view things. If you viewed your dreams as important as you do your job, like, clearly if you don't go to your job, you don't make money. Like, you don't make money, you can't pay your bills, blah, 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 blah. It's like, to you, it's life or death. So your dreams have to be the same. Or you need to reevaluate your dreams and think that maybe it's not that important to you if you're not willing to be that committed to them. And I will leave that there.
Now we all go to bed and we're done for the night. You're just like,
sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, that was so good. That was so good. Everyone's like writing all this stuff. You should go back to the chat after and read all the comments.
I need to. I saw it like going like crazy, and I'm like trying to like,
dude, it's awesome.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much.
No, and everyone, okay, so everyone that's speaking tonight, guys, they were like nervous talking tonight. I was like, guys, we're like family, we're friends, you're gonna be awesome. And so far, like, I mean, it's gonna continue. Cyndi's gonna bring it too, but this is awesome. This is really awesome. And I wanna just hit on some quick things that Yaya mentioned. First of all, she's so right? Like, you have to make this a priority if you want this to work for you. Because if you work your business on a Monday, but then you take off until the next Monday, it's never gonna, it's gonna be, you're gonna be a distributor making $50 a month. If that's what you want, totally, we're like here for it. But if you want bigger things to happen for you, if you want $2,000 a month as a diamond and a $15,000 bonus, like what would that do for you? If you want that, showing up daily because you have something that's bigger than you, like something out there is bigger than you, powering you to do this. It's the reason why you guys said yes. Like just saying commit it and having this like sense of determination, I guess it would be like just to wake up and to like change someone's life. Another really key thing is she completely created her own brand, right? So like if you look at Yaya's page and you go follow her, she's talking about things that she eats. She's talking about personal development. She's talking about workouts. Like she's doing things live. Like she's showing this stuff on her page to her followers and creating that value. So they keep looking at her page. So she probably has consistently the same people showing up because she consistently shows up. And those same people who may not be a customer yet or a distributor yet are going to be, because they see that Yaya shows up every single day for her business. So they're either going to want to become a customer of someone that's always showing up or become a distributor of someone that's always showing up, because they know either way they'll get the accountability and the help that they need to be successful, right? Like that's literally what it is. You're not going to go join someone's team or join someone as a customer if you see them post once a week. And you know, like they just don't show up there. They're not going to show up on their page for their followers. They wouldn't show up for you. So that she's building that brand, and that's what ties people in. Yes, we have an amazing product line and an amazing company. That's just part of it. Like if Yaya went and sold like Girl Scout cookies, I'm sure people on her page would buy Girl Scout cookies from her, right? Like it's you're creating your own brand, which is awesome. And now Cyndi, I'm so excited. Okay, so Cyndi, talk about your story. Probably gonna make us cry. It's fine. And then just share some like helpful tips. And honestly, I want to hear more about like how your journey has changed since you started and how you became the leader that you are today, because I think that was a big part of your growth process as well.
Sorry. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I have a 10-year-old daughter. A couple months before I started in this business, some of you know about my past story, and some of you don't. More than 10 years ago, it actually started when I was 11. My mother got into a new relationship after divorcing my father. And sorry, I'm already gonna cry. She would pull me out of my room at night and have him molest me. And it continued throughout the years until she moved us to Philadelphia, met her second husband, got married to him, and after she married him, from the age of 16 through the age of 18, I was consistently raped by him. She would take my sisters out of the house. She would use the excuse that they were going to run out of the house to run an errand, and she would leave me in the house with him so that he could do as he pleased with me. There were no ifs, buts, or whatever. I had no choice in, whatever he decided he wanted to do to me. And it went on until I got pregnant from him. And a lot of people don't know about the pregnancy because I haven't spoken about it publicly. I haven't spoken about it publicly yet. But I did get pregnant from the rape, and after they found out that I was pregnant, I was basically held hostage in the house. And because she didn't want anyone to know that I was carrying his child. And after the baby was born, she basically kept the child and kicked me out of the house. Last summer, last summer in June, we're actually coming up on like the 1 year anniversary. Her husband got arrested because someone had made a claim um, against my mother and her husband about what had happened. And her husband was arrested, and I had attorneys, I had investigators, I had lawyers contacting me, I had DCF contacting me constantly, sending me letters. I was getting court papers in the mail saying that they wanted to reach out to me. And then my dad ended up calling me. My dad was the last person that I wanted to find out about what I had gone through because of his health condition. But it took me about a month before I decided to sit down with anyone and give my side of the story, tell them everything that I had gone through, everything that she had put me through all the years after she kicked me out of the house, threatening my life. After I had Kalila, she didn't care that I had my own child. She would just leave threatening voicemails on my phone telling me, she didn't care if I had my own child with me. She would just wait for me at my house. And like drag me across the parking lot and everything. So after I sat down with investigators and lawyers, it took about 2 to 3 weeks more, and my mother was arrested. I do hate, and I really don't like to use the word hate. I actually forbid it here in the house. But I do hate that I have to call her my mother. Now when I talk about her, I call her by her name, her birth name, so that I don't have to relate to her as my mother. Just because of, the trauma that I've been through. Over the years, it's been very hard for me to get over. The past couple months has been a lot harder because I feel like I'm actually reliving everything that I've been through. Because every time we go to a court session or there's a meeting, I have to retell the story over and over again. It does not matter how many times they've heard it before. I still have to reinstate everything that I went through. So 2 weeks after she was arrested, at the time I was working as a medical assistant for a private practice, and I had to sit down with the office manager and let them know, this is what's going on. I am going to need to attend court sessions because I may end up having to sit on the stand to testify against them when trial starts. And I was told, yeah, no worries. You have 100% of our support. Do what you have to do. We'll even go to court sessions with you if we need to, just to give you that support so that you're not alone. Because obviously I didn't want my dad to come with me. I do have a boyfriend. We've been together for 15 years now, and he didn't know about it either until I made the decision to sit down with investigators and tell them. And the reason why I held it back from him for so many years is because I didn't want to share the trauma that I had been through, and like my self-esteem and everything was already low. Just like you, Yaya, I felt like I wasn't enough. Um, I held it from him because I didn't want him to look at me like a dirty person. And I thought that it was going to affect our relationship, but I actually received the complete opposite from him. Sorry. I received the complete opposite from him. I got 100% of his support. And I've had it since all this has been all open in the public, and you know, like he's gone to the meetings with me to speak with investigators and everything. Um, so I'm very thankful that I have him. The only thing that I haven't shared with him is the really explicit details, because I don't feel that he should have to hear that, because it's hard enough for me already. But so that was between June and July of last year. And in September, I actually came across Sabrina's post. It was one of her life posts where she was in Aruba. She was talking about the freedom that she has with this business and everything. And that was literally like my inspiration. And I contacted her right away. I sent her a text message. And we spoke about the business. She gave me details, and I was very interested. One of the reasons, so there are two reasons why I said yes to joining this business. One was because investigators had reconnected me with my youngest sister, who had actually gone through a similar trauma, and I hadn't spoken to her in over 5 to 7 years. And investigators were actually able to reconnect us. So she lives 2 hours away. She's right on the Connecticut line. And I wanted the extra money for gas so that I can be able to see her. I have 2 nieces and a nephew, her kids, that I hadn't seen. My nephew was my first time meeting him. He's gonna be 4, so that's 4 years of his life that I missed too. And the second reason why I joined was because I wanted to be able to connect with other people, not only for, you know, like emotional support, but just to be able to connect with other people, you know, and to be able to share my story, which I have done a lot recently, because I know that there are other people out there in the world who may or may not feel like they're silenced, who have gone through something similar, or the same situation. And I just want them to know that you're not alone. You know, they're not alone. I don't want them to feel like, I mean, I was silenced for over 10 years, not being able to speak because I was scared for my life. And I mean, even knowing that they're behind bars, you know, there are still days that I'm so scared because I know what they're capable of, you know, even behind bars, I know what their capabilities are. But when I had joined this business too, a couple weeks prior, I had landed in the ER 3 times, from stress-related elevated blood pressure. My blood pressure had gotten to the point where I had to get admitted to the hospital for several hours because they were not able to control it. And from there, I was placed on 3 different medications to bring my blood pressure levels down and keep them controlled, especially while I was going through court sessions, speaking with investigators and everything. And when I joined the business, I actually started to use the products. And within 2 to 3 months after being on the products helped to keep, like, I know everyone is different. Every person's experience with the product is different. But for me, it helped to control my blood pressure levels. And I was taken off of all 3 medications within 2 to 3 months after starting these products. So I preach a lot that our products, regardless of whether or not anybody tells us that they do not work, I highly believe in them because I always say that they're my lifesaver. You know, because God only knows where I would be right now if I hadn't found Sabrina's post. and if I hadn't joined the business and started using the products. But over the months, I mean, we're coming up on a year. I can tell you guys that over the months, you know, having the team that I have that stands behind me for support and the encouragement, the motivation, the inspiration, like everything that you guys preach to each other and preach to us has helped me to gain my strength and has made me a stronger person. Um, you know, in the beginning, I literally cried every single day when they were both arrested. I cried for 3 weeks every single night, to the point where Richie would just he would turn on the bedroom light in the middle of the night, and he would just sit there with me, and he would tell me, just cry, just let it out. And like, I would offer to leave the room. Sometimes I would leave the room and he would just tell me, no, just stay here and cry it all out. You know, we'll go to bed whenever you feel like you've let out enough. Um, so so I one thing I want to say is that I am very thankful that, you know, I am part of a team that, you know, the team that we have. I'm very grateful that I have all of you guys, especially, you know, when I feel myself getting into a slump. You know, the girls preach by personal development, and trust me, if it hadn't been for that either, like, I do not know how I would be in my emotions. Um, you know, again, when I have my days where I feel like I'm going into a slump, the personal development is, honestly, it's a miracle worker. It really picks you back up and it resets you, and it just gets you pushing for the day. As far as, I don't know if there's anything anything that I'm missing, but as far as, you know, signing customers and signing distributors, like Yaya and Angeline said, it's host to post, following up with people, reaching out to people, sharing the business on your page, you know, not just posting to your stories. Um, you don't want to, like, always hide behind the camera, because again, you do want to make it personable. You do want to show them you want to show them you want to show them who you are, who they're buying the products from. And one thing that I do highly recommend as well is being a product of the product. A lot of the customers that I have signed have come from not only the host to post, but also because they're seeing my personal results. Um, and I know Sabrina and Courtney have told me that I don't share my before and afters often enough. But you know, within the past 1 to 2 weeks, I actually have started using them a lot, especially in my conversations. And that's how I've been able to sign more customers, because I do get the question a lot of, you know, I get people who ask me, have you used the products yourself? You know, what are your results? Do you have your own before and after? And I'm thankful that I do have that, because without that, I don't know. I mean, I would be signing customers, but I also want them to see that yes, I am using the products too. And if I'm seeing my own results, you'll be able to see your results as well, as long as you're consistent, and being consistent in the business too. Like Courtney said, like Yaya said, like Angeline said, you cannot skip a day. You definitely cannot skip a day in the business. You know, it's like you said, you work one day and then skip the rest of the week. That's it for you. You're gonna work so hard to try to pick everything back up, and like, don't let the ball drop. Keep it going and keep being consistent with your work. Get on the Zooms, get on the trainings. When Courtney or Sabrina go live in the team pages, listen to those as well. and just really utilize the tips and the tools that are not only coming from them, but also whatever is posted in the pages as well, because that will definitely help you. If you're following those, you will definitely see yourself signing customers and distributors, growing your team, helping other people. You know, with this business, I I just messaged you guys right before this started about a fast start bonus that I just received, and I think it's the highest one that I've received since I started. Um, and I'm just honestly, it's from the consistency. You know, I know I went into this business wanting the extra gas money so that I can be able to visit my sister, but now, like, as the months have gone on and I've been able to not only share my personal results but also share my story, um like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help other people. You know, I want to be able to show other people and tell other people and make other people feel that they are more than enough, just like Yaya said. You know, because we are all more than enough. um for years I felt like I wasn't either. You know, for years I mean, Richie has even heard me say it. um after I had spoken to Richie about what I had gone through, I had actually said to him one day that I felt like I was only enough for the trauma that I had gone through. um and he reassured me, and having you guys, you know, as my team, you guys have also reassured me that I am more than enough. You know, God put me on this earth for a reason. He has kept me on this earth for a reason. I'm still walking for a reason. um you know, I'm able to share my story, and I'm thankful for that. I use my platform a lot for that as well, because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to be silenced forever. um I I think that's it.
Thank you so much. But Cyndi, like, first of all, we love you. Second of
Thanks.
all, like, everyone on here, I'm sure, in some shape or form can relate to your story in some way. You're not alone. We've all gone through things in our past, right? And I feel like everyone's saying in the chat, like, that's what makes us stronger. And that's what makes us, like, the people we are today, right? Like, the trauma. We've gone through it and we're going to go through it together.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be alone. Like I was saying in the beginning, you're not on this island alone. Now you have, like, us on the island partying with you. Woo. But you also were talking about, like, your tips in this business, right? And how, I don't, did you mention anything about your job? Because I don't think, did you say anything about your job?
No, I did not.
That's a key thing.
So, you know how I told you guys that my job had actually told me that so when I sat down with the office manager, she had told me that I had 100% of their support to go to court sessions and everything. And then last week of February this year, we actually had an incident with Kalila, our daughter, where she had to be rushed to the emergency room because she had a very hard time breathing, and her oxygen levels dropped, and we thought we were going to lose her. Um, and I had messaged the office manager, and I let her know what was going on, and I had explained to her that, you know, I had to keep her home for observation, make sure that everything was okay. She had, within that week, she had 3 follow-up visits with her pediatrician just to make sure that her oxygen levels and everything were okay. And anyone on here who's a mom, I don't care if you're a dog mom, I don't care if you're a cat mom, when there's an emergency like that and you feel like you're losing them, I had no idea what was going to happen that night, and it was the scariest thing ever. I had to take a week off from work, and before that week ended, I had actually received a text message from the office manager, telling me that I was fired. And it was not because of Kalila. It was her reasoning behind firing me was that I was taking excessive time off to attend court sessions. And that was a very hard week for me. Sabrina and Courtney know. When that happened, I felt like I was being punished for running after justice. You know, I had the opportunity dropped in my lap to finally fight for justice, and then this had happened, and I felt like I was being punished all over again. I felt like, you know, with that happening, was I supposed to continue keeping myself silenced and never speak about it again? Um, and since then, I mean, I've been home, you know, obviously because of the pandemic as well, but that's actually the main reason why I've been home. And I haven't really taken the opportunity to go out and search for another job because I don't want to have to sit down with another employer, especially when trial is going to start soon, and explain to them, you know, this is what's going on. I'm going to have to attend court sessions. I don't know how many I'm going to have to attend, but, you know, am I going to have to worry about whether or not I'm going to get fired because I'm fighting for justice that I deserve after so many years?
Okay, it's kind of like crazy timing, right? How this all worked out for you as
Yeah.
far as like
Yes.
your health, and now like being out of a job, you have an income coming in, and you just got your
Yes.
highest paycheck ever last month, and it's just going to
Yeah.
keep growing, and you just got your highest bonus today. Like it just, I feel like everything's looking up for you, and I'm just really, really, really excited to see how your 2020 continues
Yeah.
with
Thank
us.
you. I know I keep saying, you know, since last year, last February, I actually started going back to church on Sundays, and I did not miss a single Sunday up until the quarantine. Um, and since then, I've been saying, you know, after they got arrested and everything, I've just been saying continuously that that was God preparing me for what was to come, what I'm going through now, and what I'm going to face in the future, you know, with the trials and everything. And having this business and the team and just everything else that has come into my life in a positive way has been a preparation from God to keep lifting me up.
Yeah. And then I would say, and you saw Sabrina's post and you said it literally like changed your life financially and physically, right? It
Yes.
changed everything about your life. And now, as you're going, as you're almost at diamond, like you're
Yeah.
charting for diamond and you're working on your emerald right now. Like as you're doing these things, you get to do that for so many other people. Like you
Yes.
have Josie kicking butt on your team. You have Destiny on here, right? Like you have
Yeah.
tons of people on here, like because of you and because you said yes to this business. So that's so powerful. And I want you to know how powerful and strong you are as you like pave the way for so many other women. And like you said, sharing your story is seriously going to change so many lives. I'm almost 100% positive that everyone on here has been affected by your story tonight in some shape or form. So thank you so much for doing that. And I want to hit one thing on like what Cyndi, something that really sticks out to me every day about Cyndi is how she was saying she builds consistency and she's showing up for her business every day. Guys, not only that is she showing up for herself and her business, but she's showing up for her team and even other people who are sideline sisters. She's showing up for them and helping them by either sending something in a chat that she listened to on a journaling Zoom today, or she's sending something like a Zoom that's coming up or a training. She's already doing these leadership diamond qualities, diamond and above qualities, but she's not diamond yet. She's thinking as a diamond. What would a diamond leader do? They would help their team. So how would they help their team? They'd communicate in the chats. They would post on the page. They would shout people out. They would go into like their one-on-one chats and make sure everyone has the tools they need to be successful. And Cyndi does that literally every single day. So I think that's so powerful as you guys are on your way to your next promotion and as we're June's going to be a crazy month, just like it's already been a crazy month. I don't know if you guys checked your volume lately, but it's crazy. And it's going to keep getting higher and higher. And we're going to keep bringing in new teammates and new customers through these tips you guys learned tonight. And in the process, you have to have that mindset that you're not doing this by yourself anymore, right? Even if you don't have a distributor yet on your team, you will. And you need to have that mindset. That would be my number one tip too. Going day one, mindset of becoming a leader, being a leader, realizing this business is not just for me and my family, but for like millions of lives. It's literally millions of lives at this point. So I'm really happy. Thank you guys all for sharing. Was there any, before we end the Zoom, does anyone have any like urgent questions or they want to ask Cyndi, Yaya, Angeline, like any questions from what they shared tonight? Or any of the tips that there was tons of tips. I hope you guys took notes. There was such good stuff. I'm so glad I recorded this so we can rewatch this. Was there anything that we need to answer? There is a training on tracking. So that's where Yaya learned it from too. So I can actually send you that YouTube link in your group chat. If you want to text in your group chat, we can send you that YouTube link. Anything else? No? Okay, I'm gonna post. I was actually gonna do that while we were talking, but I've just like been so zoned in. I just didn't want to like leave to go post the contest. So I'm gonna post that contest that I talked about in the beginning of the Zoom. So when you guys are enrolling, just remember, I know I'm trying not to do too many things. I love doing contests, if you don't know yet, but I'm trying not to do too many things so you guys get confused about where to enter like stuff. Just know when you enroll someone or you get an existing customer enroll or you place a personal order, that counts as an entry for some contest, right? And then just ask the chat and we'll tell you where to put it. But I'm gonna put on the team page the boom contest, and every 1,000 that we go, we're gonna count up. Every 1,000 we hit, I'm gonna let you guys pick a prize from the Amazon boom list. I'm so excited for that. Boom contest, yeah. Awesome. All right, love you guys. Have an amazing night. Jade has a working session in a half hour. If anyone hasn't needed some time to work their business, get some posts to post up like everyone was teaching you tonight. They said almost every single person, I think every single person said post to post, post to post. So getting your 10 up a day at least, you're going to start enrolling customers and distributors. Happy birthday. Oh yeah, 3 hours. Thanks guys.